Say hi. Say hi. No? You wanna go? Go play. Hey guys, it's Erica. How are you? I hope you're good. Today I'm here to review My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This is a book I was really looking forward to read, though I will warn you, this is going to be a underwhelming review. I have very mixed thoughts and I still don't know if I truly like this book or if I'm more on the dislike of this book. I'm very conflicted because though I love parts of this book, like the themes and some of the things their characters did within this book, on the other side I just really had a hard time with this book as well. I'm gonna try to explain why, but yeah. So My Best Friend's Exorcism. This follows the story of an exorcism, obviously, but we have our two main characters, Abby and Gretchen. Now, when Abby was really young, she didn't have a lot of friends. She had this big old birthday party and none of her classmates went. No one went, and she was very sad about that. They all decided to go to a different party, but Gretchen showed up. Gretchen was this new girl and she went to Abby's party, and you know, they soon bond, create a friendship, and they're just hand in hand. They grow up together, they become super close. Gretchen's family takes in Abby and they're almost like sisters in a way, and you can really see that growth within the beginning of this book, and I really loved reading about that. And one night when they're in high school, Abby, Gretchen, and a group of friends, they go out skinny dipping in a woods area, and Gretchen goes missing for the night, and Abby and her friends are just paranoid. They don't know what happens to Gretchen. Everyone's freaking out, but Gretchen shows up either the next day or a couple days later, maybe. I think it's the next day though, and something is off with Gretchen. No one else really can see it, but Abby can see it, and as you can obviously tell, Gretchen is possessed by a demon, and Gretchen over time turns into this awful friend towards Abby and does these awful things to her family and everyone around her, and no one really does anything about it. But Abby can see that something is off with Gretchen and she wants to help her in any way, shape, or form that she can. So she tries her hardest, but slowly everyone, Gretchen's family, the friends, everyone turns on Abby, and regardless of how hard she tries, she kind of is pushed into a corner, and she feels almost helpless in a way because she doesn't know what to do to help her best friend, and no one is believing her, and she's seeing everything being torn down around her, and it's a sad story. But it's written in this 80s timeline with all of this nostalgic stuff, and characters are doing stupid things left and right, and you want to just throw this book at the wall because so many of these characters are awful people, and they're awful people in the sense that they're just awful. You don't really care what happens to them. So Gretchen, the one that's possessed, really has at her friends, and she does some terrible things, and so that's basically the gist of the story. I think the big theme of this book overall that you could take away would be, what will you do for your friend? You know, that underlying theme of friendship, of love, you could say, because Abby really goes all the way to save Gretchen. She does whatever it takes, and it's kind of, when you get to the ending of this book, it's so heartwarming and kind of beautiful, and it just pulled at my heartstrings at this friendship, because I don't know, you know, not everyone has, you know, such a great friendship like that, or has a friend that would really go to the ends of the earth for them, and they're like sisters, you know, that's how I view them. So I don't know, that's the story, and I love that theme of friendship, and I think that's kind of as far as it goes on how much I enjoyed this book, because I don't know if it's the writing style or if it's just the blunt characters, because I feel as if they weren't written too well, or maybe they were written in that way on purpose. That could have been that, but I had such a hard time picking up this book and then just seeing it through. I can't tell you how many times I put this book down and didn't want to pick it up. It was I don't know what it was, because it was interesting enough, and the events that took place were interesting enough, and everything that happened was interesting enough, but I just couldn't really delve into the writing style. And maybe that's just me personally, it probably is. Maybe I think I'm just not a fan of Grady Hendrix' writing style, because I love the story, I love everything that happened, even though some of the stuff just made me want to throw the book at the wall with the characters and the events that took place. I loved the entire thing as a whole, the idea. It was just the writing was so hard for me to get into, and I don't know if, you know, like I said, that's just me, but I feel kind of underwhelmed with the entire story, because it just felt very, I don't know what it felt like to me, it just felt very underwhelming. That's all I can really say. You know, this was, I think, written to be, I mean, the back of the book says, this book packs all the magic of a summer horror flick. And I think in concept it does, but in execution it just, like I said, feels very underwhelming and at times a bit of a bore. So that's mean, a bit of a bore, but it was, honestly. So that's just kind of how I feel. I love the story, I love the themes of friendship, but on the, I'm sorry, there are cats running around attacking boxes, so I'm sorry if that's annoying you. But like I said, overall, a bit underwhelmed of this book. I don't know if I can fully give it a recommendation of, you're gonna love this, it's gonna be great, 80s nostalgia, a horror book, it's awesome, it's so much fun. Because, I mean, there are parts of this book that are fun, but there are parts of this book that's just kind of boring. So take that with a grain of salt, and if you want to pick up this book, I think you might like it, but you also might not like it, because I do like this book and I will keep it, but I don't think I'll ever reread it. I think it would be a great movie. Just the book, you know? Anyway, that's my best friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. If you've read it, let me know your thoughts. If you haven't, do you want to read it? Let me know. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Okay, bye.